Could it be? Yes, yes! It's time for Skinbag of Coffee with Filtron. Hello! How are you? I hope you're doing well. I found this video. I thought it was pretty funny. Check it out. This guy's channel is called, let's look. It's called Awaken with JP.
Fathers need to be strong for their kids. If I can't do at least 20 reps with this, it means I'm weak and gay. That's only 19. Oh, I'm a complete failure and a homosexual.
I do feel like the homosexual thing is going to be divisive. I think what he's trying to say is he feels emasculated that he can't do 20 reps. Which I know sounds silly. I think it's a glass half empty perspective. He's portraying the disappointment of not reaching his goal. Is basically it. Not that he got 95% to his goal. I mean, that's an A+. But this is the way guys think.
A lot of moms talking about the mental load they carry. Things like scheduling, what time to pick up the kids, laundry, meal prep, doctor's appointments. It's a lot they carry. Honestly,
he's talking about that voice in your head that says, "Come on, you can do better." You know what I mean?
It's very stressful. Makes me grateful that as fathers, we don't have to worry about carrying the mental load.
What's on your mind?
I've just got a full day of work today that if I don't do, or if I lose my job, then I can't buy food. My kids will starve to death and it'll be my fault. So just doing that. There's over 736,000 ways my children could be harmed. So aside from working, I just got to be vigilant of all those things today. That also has 7 points of entry an intruder could potentially breach, including the lower level windows. And being responsible for protecting my wife and kids means I need to be aware of where they are relative to those 7 points at all times. And I got to make sure I'm in position where I have eyes on those 7 points at all times. And if I'm out of position, I just feel on edge because my wife could be killed and my kids could be abducted at any moment. I can see them all really well from right here. So this is where I feel most relaxed. Because you got your front and rear access points, both
really nice
sides.
Staircase rails.
I just like to just sit and unwind here. That's one of the biggest threats you got to have situational awareness about.
The TV?
Yeah. You let your kid watch the wrong Disney show, and then all of a sudden your son's calling himself Barbara, wanting to cut his dick off and yelling at you about climate change.
He's not wrong. Like, this is why I canceled all subscriptions, Disney, Netflix, all of it. Children are deriving their traits from these influences, and it helps to be aware of that at all times.
And it'd be my fault because I let him watch the wrong show. So you got to be careful with this thing.
What else is on your mind?
Well, anytime one of my sons asks me if they can do something, I go through this simple thought process. If I'm too strict on him and I say no too much, then he'll grow up thinking he had an overbearing father and become a drug addict because he's always seeking the freedom he perceived his dad never gave him. But if I'm not strict enough and say yes too much, then he'll grow up feeling like his father never actually cared about him, and he'll become a drug addict because he's just seeking the love that he perceived his father never gave him. So that's what I consider each time one of my kids asks me a question, and then I try to thread that needle, knowing their entire future trajectory rests on my answer. Here's something I'm never not thinking about. Statistically, 3% of all people are child predators. We live in a town with a population of 36,000 people. That means there's 1,080 child predators that I need to assume everybody is at all times.
Everybody.
And I got to be ready to take action accordingly. During my workday, I am very aware that if I don't provide, my wife will leave me for another man. It's like nothing personal. It's just a woman's primal instinct will kick in out of security for the kids, and she'll find a guy who can predictably provide safety and sustenance for the kids better than I can. It just gives the kids a better chance of survival, and it'd be my fault because I failed as a provider, but the kids would be better off. So I've got another day of trying to prevent that from happening. As a father,
So I've got another day trying to prevent that from happening. That's a good dad. Wow.
always aware of where we're at in our country's political landscape, and We're overdue for a civil war. So I need to be ready to engage neighbors or roaming militia groups at a moment's notice to keep my family alive. Who's that? Oh, it's nothing. I mean, we all know it's going to happen. We just don't know when, so it's always good to keep it top of mind. So I figure this is a route we'll take to higher ground, assume a better tactical position for the family. Septic tank. Got to make sure the kids don't fall in that. Oh, I guess as a dad, sometimes things can be hard on me, but when they are, I always like to remember things will only get worse and nobody cares.
Things will only get worse and nobody cares. Wow. That's a heavy load. This guy he has a real silly but deadpan delivery. It reminds me a little bit of Norm Macdonald. Just he goes to a real dark place. This was great. I loved this. Hope you're doing well. Remember that you are loved. And I'll talk to you later.